Hello, my dear Aries. This is your love and spirituality reading for the time between November the 1st to November 15, 2016, with me, Queen of Cups Tarot. So, November 4 to 5, we will be able to see Taurus meteor shower that will radiate from the constellation of Taurus. You can see this after midnight if you have a cloud-free sky, that is. November 14, we will have the full moon, the second supermoon for 2016 out of 3 supermoons. The first one is October 16. So the moon may look slightly larger and brighter than usual. The new moon we had October 30, yes, in daytime. So I call the divine with love and light. I call the 4 archangels in the 4 corners of the world. And I call the 6 elements, earth, wind, fire, water, spirit, and ether, to join us here today and to give us a clear view reading for my dear Aries. So I want my dear Aries to have love in their life, to find themselves in loving relationship. And also I want them to have creative success and to work towards the spiritual enlightenment and personal growth. And also be able to walk on their highest path towards their highest destiny. Therefore, what I mean with that is to fulfill why you are here on earth during this time, my dear Aries. So, what's in store for Aries? The first half of November 2016, regarding love, spirituality, and creativity. Okay, so it was done. So just tune in a little bit. Okay, so this is your future. This is your now, and this is the past. The now is probably the first half of November 2016, but whenever you watch this, it's probably exact the right time to see it. So, okay. The first card for you, Aries, is the Sun. So, you have seen something, you have understand something, you have got a higher point of understanding. This is the Sun. So, the Sun is sitting high up on the sky, watching down on us. This is you. Watching down on your inner child, on your pure feelings. So you can have got a certain knowing and for what you want. You know more clearly what you want to create in your life. You have seen it, you have touched it, you have tasted it. It's kind of having a goal for your aim. And it's also being really awake, like here and now. People can think that it's boring to, to do ordinary things like feeling all the steps that you're doing when you're taking a walk, like being in the motion of it all, or eating an apple, taking the first chew, or eating just your dinner. It's kind of people just do this without really being aware. It's like we are in a dream state. But I urge you to be more and more awake for each passing day. Like feel the taste of that apple. Feel the gravel underneath your shoe when you're walking. Feel the taste of your dinner. Every chew out of it. And be more awake and aware. And this is also being aware of things happening in your life. What people are saying to you. How you actually react on what people saying to you. And not like put it into the illusion. It's kind of seeing like, okay, this is how I react to this. This is how I feel. And it's a lot of things, but it's all those things is about being awake and seeing things for what they really are without any kind of projections or pink glasses or whatever. It's just this is what is, and being in the now, accepting whatever is also in your now, and not trying to make it like you want it to be, actually seeing it as it is. And this is 6 of Wands. So the Sun is very as it's our energy point. It's where from where we get all our energy, and it seems like you're really connected. You have the Six of Wands. Six of Wands is the victory card. It's also a spiritual card for getting spiritual messages, or like feeling very connected with the divine and very connected with yourself, like that you really know now what you want to do and what you like and what you don't like. It's like a very profound awakening here, which I see. And Six of Wands is kind of you putting yourself on a high horse and getting your own authority, and feeling like what you want. It's like kind of a decision that you have made here in the past, seeing some things, and actually like kind of also taking a stand for something that you have seen, like if you like it or don't like it. And here you also have the Magician. So it seems like many of the star sign this month of November is really in tune with this law of attraction. It's like you're in the brink, all of you, to attract your true future. I think we have, without noticing it really, we have got more and more responsibility for our own attraction skills. What you are thinking is actually going to start to come to life and like manifest itself in your lives. So it's kind of a shield being taken off. Before, maybe everything that we were thinking about excessively didn't come to full manifestation because we had some kind of shields protecting us from what we were thinking. But it seems like we are getting more and more responsibility for our own actions, our own creations. So be very mindful of what you are thinking, and not get trapped in those victim stories, or poor me, or this is always happening to me, because this is going to manifest itself. Try to dream about the things that you want and leave them as such. Don't judge if you are going to get it or not. Just say what you want, and then go for the next thing you want and next thing you want, and then start seeing how things are starting to manifest in your life. But also, of course, we need to heal our canal for manifestation. So if you have a wound that's hurting, you can't just skip it and try to like manifest good things with positive thinking. It won't work. You need to heal that wound as well. With other signs, I have seen that they are like kind of stuck with this, that they have a lot of feelings, like they have a lot of distress when it comes to their own creations. And here you have instead the Queen of Wands, and that's you, Aries. The Queen of Wands is a person that's really have been and seen it all. It's kind of a very experienced person that have lived for many lifetimes, and also have this profound knowing, and being able to see into other people's kind of existence, feeling their feelings, being able to understand their point of view. So it's kind of, you have a very broad vision, and you might understand why people are like they are. So you're not so judgmental. You don't hate other people because they are in a certain way. You can see that they are not aware enough to be in another kind of way. So that's a very profound compassion that you have, you Aries people. You are, through what I have experienced from legends and things, you Aries were the first people on Earth. So you are kind of our head, we can say. And here you are like the Queen of Wands. And the Queen of Wands is our profound like divine feminine in its manifested form on Earth. How we have lived many lifetimes to experience a lot of things. And through this experience, we have been everything. We have been a person that's crippled. We have been a warrior. We have been a lover, a fighter, a emperor, a queen. We have been a beggar. We have been like someone being gardening or taking care of someone's laundry, and we have been witches, we have been magicians, like this is a witch and this is a magician. So we have been and seen it all. And from the beginning we might have been like the story of the Queen of Wands is that she had from the beginning black hair and was like a rather cold-hearted bitch, a witch actually, and that she was using her power in a maybe a really bad way. But through karma and through her many lifetimes experience, she got like more and more with more and more fair hair, and it's almost turned white in the end, like really blonde white. And her panther, her black panther, that was her companion, become like a lion instead. But through her compassion and through all her experience, she come back to earth and try to help other people to make the same journey as she had done. And because she had a more wider experience, she had the ability to take away like the things that blocked other people from moving forward. So she could use this compassion to go down on earth and be like go down in energy, to level down through vibration to lesser vibrations, to actually be like guide for people in that vibration. So that's when she got like kind of the reddish brown hair, and her panther were transformed. Her Leo panther first, Leo then was transformed into a jaguar, like a cat animal with black spots to remind her of her own dark past. So it's like a really profound way which you can put yourself into other people's shoes and get some kind of compassion. Here the leopard has become a cat instead, and that kind of a that's kind of a symbol for being very self-sufficient, like taking love where you can get it. But if you're getting tired of the person, you just leave and you move to other place, and you take really good care of yourself and being really awake, like really in the zen. A cat moves like it's really in tune with its own being and with its soul. It doesn't like think so much, and they are very like, they can sit for hours just staring out into something, and they always use the most strange positions for sleeping, like on the curry crosses and whatnot. So they are like not really of this world, and you are not either. So that was what I was trying to say, that you have gone through down here on earth to be like guidance for humanity. And you might have gone really deep and really dark, okay? So it might be time to wake up from that now, and show people, your people, the way out through light again. So here you have the Judgment Day card. It's called Karma in this Witch's Tarot deck. It's number 20, and it's the sun, and it's blocked by the moon. You can see it here. And it's a little bit what I have been seeing with other cards, but other signs, but there were more sadness to this. This is more like the moon is blocking the sun. The moon is, of course, your illusions. You know, what I said with the sun, that you see things really clear. If you hear a person saying something that's making your heart sink, you say to them, that what you said made my heart really sink. The moon is when we didn't say that. We didn't know it ourselves either. We just felt like, something we said in that conversation was really uncomfortable. And this is the moon, okay? So you have some stuff here that you need to address, some things. But as I said, you have gone down here like a really, you see this descendant here, like a really spiritual creature going down on earth to try to manifest things here. And it has something to do with this karma. And karma is, of course, like our own this ability to see things for what they really are. And we are sometimes really tangled in illusions, sometimes to our like positive beliefs. We want to have those pink glasses so we don't really see the truth, that our spouse might not really love us that profoundly anymore, or that the boss, even though they are like greeting you nicely, they think something else. So you have another knowing, like from your subconscious, and it's time like you start using it, because you have a lot of knowledge that you are not using. And I said it, your wisdom from all those lives, from all this experience. You're just tuned down like in this lifetime to help others to do the same journey as you already have done. So it's time to do that again and show the way. Okay, so here we have the girl, that one that have lived all those lifetimes, and her panther had turned into a lion. So she is she reached a level that was really, really high. This is the 8, the strength. It's kind of when you get you being an adult person, being able to take responsibility, being able to see the truth as it is and act accordingly, even if it breaks your heart sometimes. And she also has the roses here, so she holds love really high. She knows that love is one of the few things you can take with you when you die. Love and experience, knowledge. You can take both those things with you when you die. You will still love the persons that you always have loved, and you will still know the things that you have learned, that you have experienced. That's why we live here on earth, to have experience. And this one, she's very experienced, and she knows a lot of things, and she's very strong, and she has the ability, the leadership ability, to help us through these rough times which we are going through right now. Before there was some kind of like you can predict the future, like the tomorrow, the coming day will be like your yesterday, kinda, but it's not this anymore. We have had like at least 4 years, for someone more, and at least 4 years with very high amount of like big things happening. Your people losing their jobs, people getting really sick, people losing their spouse, people losing their house. It's a lot of losses because we need to purify ourselves and heighten our vibration for the things that will come. So it's like we need to sacrifice a lot of things now to heighten our vibration, to because human beings are like getting enlightened out of experience and out of pain. And pain has been really something we have tried to avoid. And it has gotten a really bad name. And it's not the crook that we have made it out to be. It's just a messenger about things that you might want to overlook. It's like you want to keep your illusions with the moon here. So you don't want to have the truth of it all. So you're pretending that you're not hurt, but you are. But this girl here, she is a girl. This could be a man or a female, it doesn't matter, but it's just this story I'm trying to keep up. She isn't afraid of her feelings anymore. She isn't afraid of making tough decisions and take the consequences due to her hurt feelings. And maybe, and if she loves someone, she will keep on loving them until she doesn't love them anymore, even if she has chosen not to be with them. And it's the same thing with everything. She is standing for what she feels and what she believes, and she takes a decision and she doesn't turn back from that decision. It's kind of a like being a very adult person, being a person that's very like have high values and high moral standards that come like directly from their soul and from nowhere else. So it's a beautiful card. You have beautiful here major arcana cards and also 2 minor arcana, and both of them are wands. That's fire. It's for your sign, fire sign. Okay, so here you have another major arcana card, and that's the Chariot. And it's kind of that you need to have both your strength, your ability to say no, and your ability to love in the same chariot. And to have all that's you in the same chariot. So it's time to collect yourself. And it's time to forget about that you descended here to be like, you know, in this low vibration. Forget about it. You are going to heighten your vibration now really fast to where you were once. Because you are starting to remember, and you need like all or your goats on this in the stable, or oh no, it's a joke. It won't go with you. So you need to have both your horses taking the chariot forward. So be complete. You need to remember what you have forgotten. It's time. It's like this time now. Yes, I have a beautiful poetry I had on my wall for quite some time, and it was kind of that you have put us here to remind you, to wake you, and it's kind of this that's happening for you now, that you're really in the brink of remembering. And here you have a little Page of Swords. So the Page of Swords comes underneath the Magician. So some of you might have chosen kind of the road of the villain when you have walked here on Earth. You have done to make people awaken through pain. You have been kind of a villain, kind of a person being like in a smart body that's able to manipulate others and make them to do what you please. So it's kind of, you have been kind of a trigger for people to wake up. So for some of you, this is the truth. You have the Page of Swords really central here. And Page of Swords is a person that has been kind of an orphan, being able to take care of themselves. They are not really trusting others. They are not really thinking that other will take care of them. So they are kind of the opposite of the Queen of Wands, that's have this profound like love for everyone and compassion with everyone. The Page of Swords is kind of the opposite. It only has compassion for itself, and it's scared about other people, and it's trying to outsmart them by like having a really clear view on them and seeing through them, seeing through their illusions, trying to like kind of expose them. So you have the Magician there. Magician can be kind of manipulating, and the Page of Swords, that kind of a judgmental part of you that's also really, it's a really like a rebel energy. So yes, it's a bit egocentric. It's like my way or the highway. Want to but they also know the truth of something really profound. So it's kind of mixed signals I'm getting here. Like what I said, some of you have been playing the villain, and here's the Ten of Wands. So maybe it's time to stop with this. Maybe it's time to, yes, okay, I've been doing this for quite some times, but now it's time to like kind of awake to the Queen of Wands instead. Like you don't need this anymore to like outsmart people and see the bad traits out of them and use this maybe against them in kind of a way. You see here, Ten of Wands is a person moving. They are moving away from us. We see their backside, and it's kind of the work is done now. This is what I want to tell you. The work is done. It's time to move on. You have other things to do. It's time to move. It's the movement card. It's sometimes also suppression, that people are suppressing their feeling until breaking point. So here's that kind of breaking point, the Three of Swords, and it comes underneath karma. So you have some kind of old wound, some old karma, which you have been using for fueling your experience here on Earth and how to help other people. So you might have been really, really badly traumatized through your lifetimes. For once to experience and to be able to walk a mile in other people's shoes. So you would have a lot of experience and you would know. And also because you, how to lower yourself down to density, like high, to low density vibration, you need to be rather hurt. So you might have had a really rough childhood, or you might have wounds from past life here with this. It's time to deal with it now. It's time to release it. It's time to not, you don't need it anymore. You need to just release it. And how you do this is, of course, pushing right through it. Feeling the feeling, giving it a lot of attention, it's going to heal it. So if you have been really badly treated, traumatized, or even have like just wounds that you know of, start to feel those wounds before they break your bones, because you had the Ten of Wands here. So it's kind of a suppression that's going on. So it can go either way. Either you start to release it now, or it will build up until it will boom, like in the Tower kind of sense. So it's kind of a time, it's very urgent time. It's kind of a time that you will release a lot of old stuff. You will release a lot of things that you have been having because of your own spiritual development, but also for you helping others to develop spiritually. It's like you have been coded to do certain things, and maybe to be a bit of a nail in the eye for other people. And now it's time to heal those things, because we're all going to rise up now. So your work is kind of done with the others. Now you're doing this, like healing yourself now. It's the time for you. So you can get back to your grandness. And here we have the Five of Pentacles. The Five of Pentacles, I got this for all the last signs I have been doing. So it's about loss, and it's about this feeling of being alienated, being an outsider, being a beggar, not being loved enough, not being welcomed enough, not being appreciated enough, not having enough of the things that you need. So it has been the human experience for quite some time, and it's not going to be this in the future. We are going to create something else for ourselves, because the universe and the world is abundance, and we have learned about scarcity, and we have learned how to use resources until they are ended, and we have learned how to use people until there is no person left to be used, and this is going to kind of end now. This is a Five of Pentacles. So Five of Pentacles is kind of a loss. So for some of you, that will be a loss. You might have seen something really profound. You saw it, and you now are taking the consequences out of it, even though it means like you are being lonely, or you have lost something, because it's kind of time. And here you have the King of Wands. King of Wands is it can be a Leo person, but it's any fire sign. So I think this is you arising to your actual creative skill. You have the lion also here. You have it on the throne. You have the cat there, and you have the legend of these cats, you know, the spiritual followers. That's for you. Okay. So this is a creator. This is a person that's can be hopeful for everyone. He wants everyone to rise with him. He has this kingdom that's blossoming, and everyone is content and happy and get what they want. And this is the future that we want to create, not for a few superpowers to own everything, or for a few 2% of the population owning everything. This is sharing. This is like wanting and being optimistic for everyone, and not just for yourself. So it's something new coming here, and it's something that comes straight from your soul, and something from like how you are, like in your complete kind of being. So it's very high. It's kind of a Buddha-like kind of quality coming down here. And here we have the Five of Swords. I think we had this also with Taurus. So you might have had some kind of showdown with Taurus, and as I said, it's kind of the end now for not being a tormentor anymore for other people, or letting them torment you. It's kind of stepping up now from that, and not longer using power, using manipulation, using your smartness to get what you want from other people. It's kind of time for something else, something more beautiful, something more like co-creating with this in this world. So the Five of Swords, it can be, you need to be watchful, as I said also for Taurus. It might be someone that's showing out to be like a good friend, but it's really like kind of out to get you. They had a little other constellation, but the meaning is kind of the same. The Magician is rather powerful, so it might be like it might be that you think that they are on your side, but they are not really. And it might be you are giving this envision to others that you are being like on their side, but you're not. And we'll see where it goes with this. We have a Two of Swords here coming underneath the Queen of Swords. No, Queen of Wands, sorry, and Ten of Wands. So it's kind of you don't want to stop, is what I feel. Like you have gotten a mission and it's ending now, but it's kind of that you are going on with what you have been doing because of like old habit, and you haven't got the signal that it's time to time to stop. For some of you, this might be a relationship ending, and like people are not talking to each other, and you might be really angry with this. With the Ten of Wands, kind of, you feel like they might have hurt your dignity, or it's time kind of to feel you don't want to give anymore. So you might shut someone out, or someone might try to hurt you or try to make you feel like worthless, and you kind of letting this happen without, you're just freezing them out. This kind of what's happening here. And here's the Nine of Pentacles. So maybe you need this. Maybe you need a time for yourself. This is a card for a person being really, really self-sufficient. And it's kind of the same person here in all those cards. Being a really, like an adult person taking care of themselves and actually not blaming anyone else for their misfortune or unhappiness. They are just trying to make the best life they can for themselves, being very, taking a lot of responsibility, being very adult, very wise. But it's kind of some sadness with this. It's kind of that you're choosing the easy way out instead of actually changing, which you might need to do right now. Change. You have used certain kind of survival strategies, power strategies to be where you are right now. But it seems like they are outdated. And what the world wants for you. You have 2 swords, 3 swords here. Cornering this Nine of Pentacles, and it seems like you are solving your problems by, well, I will do this, I will be alone. I won't deal with other people. If they think I am doing this or they are going to act like this against me, I won't be together with them anymore. And it's kind of the easy way out. And it's not what I'm expecting out of this profound, strong person. Sorry, I have done this. That has gone down here to help other people, to just protect themselves in an egocentric kind of way and put themselves like in a position where nothing fun will happen, but no one will hurt me either. But it's a good thing anyway with the Nine of Pentacles. You can use this for a while, building like an own haven inside your with your own life, like in your own chest, like healing yourself first to a certain degree. But then you need to go out and face others again. It seems like you're shutting them out here in this corner here because of you feeling like cast out in the cold and like your strength is not needed anymore. And it's not, because people are waking up. So it's kind of, you need to use your strength to take care of yourself, but you don't need it to like adjust others or try them to make them like do what you want, what you think is right, and so on and so on. You have had a leadership role with you being the star sign that's the head, but now everyone is waking up, so everyone knows what you are kind of knowing, and it's because you have been here and teach them. But now it's time to join them instead of opposing them, and instead of like kind of fostering them or what has been your aim. So it's a hard time for you to tune into what you were instead of what you now have been. But it seems like it will be like a little rough patch, but you have yourself here, and you have like all this strength that is you. So you will sort this out. It will be a little bumpy road here, and a bit hurt feelings, and maybe a bit of revenge. And I won't talk to you, I don't need you kind of thing. And so a little like this disoriented energies, but I think it will sort itself out in the end. But don't get stuck in this every man is an island kind of thing. It won't hold for the long run, because we are in this together. We are supposed to level up together. It's just that one part of the work is already done. And now it's time for the next one. So we'll see a little bit if we can get some advices for you from the wisdom of the hidden realms. We have Eyes of Beauty. So positive expectations and clarity is the card, what it's saying. But it's more like, I feel suspicious with this card. It's kind of you are this person that you're like distrusting people, and you don't trust them before they have kind of shown their true face. It's kind of a you see the energy between those two people. It's a bit of hide and seek going on here. So I think you have negative expectations and not so much clarity. And that's why you need to use the Page of Swords in a much more deliberating kind of way. Like we have this story when Jesus get into the temple and threw out all the merchandisers. That's the Page of Swords in its best way, when it's like using its knowing to change the world in a positive way. And here's the other card for you, and that's Cosmos, Creativity, Wasteness. So this is what I've been telling you about you, that you have been working side by the divine, even if you are a villain, a crook, even if you are like a business leader, a person cleaning the stairways, or whatever you're doing, even if you are like, as I said, you can be a priest or a villain. It doesn't matter. You have been working side by side with the divine all the time to create certain kind of experience for human being to be able to grow and have certain kind of spiritual lessons that they needed. So we see the string here between the divine and you see also that the divine is coming in the face of the moon here. So you see it's some kind of thing going on here, like that's kind of hard for us in this third dimension to comprehend, but it's kind of you having a profound connection with the divine that's that you just have, and it has been there all along. So even in nighttime, you are working on a divine level, and you have this comet falling here and a dragon, I think, roaming in the sky. So it's a lot of power that's working in your favor and in the world's favor, and you're kind of the servant here on Earth. So try to relax a little bit. It's like you're seeing like problems and opposition everywhere, and you need to lower your guard and go with the flow. Your work is done. You don't need to find new villains to fight against. We need to align ourselves together instead of fighting. Okay, so I sensed a big trauma with some of you, maybe from past lifetimes. Leaving and traveling. Okay, so some of you can be persons of travel that doesn't feel maybe home, and it might be that you need to travel also. This is a train track, so it might be something with your destiny. Oh, okay. Some of you might have a spouse that have left you because they were angry with you maybe, and now you are angry with them. But you don't need, you see that you might need changing. As I said, you have it's like you have some kind of fabric setting that's kind of done now. You need new settings. You need to download those new settings so you can be able to function now in maybe a relationship with your spouse or someone, your friend or whatever. You don't need to fight anymore. This is what I feel. It's something with this as well. A monk or nun and scribe or writer for you. Monk or nun, it's kind of some kind of promise I feel that you have been doing. So it might be different for different people, but for me it feels like, your mission is done. Okay, and now what it might have led to might have been someone leaving you or making you feel very hurt, but it's time for change. This is what I'm feeling. Okay. And as you know, I tell this sometimes because people get very upset when they feel that they are kind of put in a bad spot, and it was the other one that did this to me. And as I said, the chariot, on this 3D experience that we have, we go down like either one of the half We are not whole down here. We are just one part of it. So it's like we are striving always to get whole, but we aren't. So you can have taken either side of this. It doesn't matter. It's just that this is playing out in Aries life. And sometimes you can be the one that feels like, yeah, the other one was hurtful to me and did this and this. And sometimes you are the one that hurt the other. So it can be either way. It's kind of opposites. It's just like I'm telling like the story, and you put yourself in the right kind of role and try to see things clear. Also your not so good personality sides. But what I see here is not, I don't see a bad personality here. I see a person that has like come here for doing a mission, and maybe being a bit like offensive to people or hard against people or making like conflicts and things for people to grow. And now your work is done, and it's kind of people are demanding from you to change, and you have kind of been left out in the snow. So they are demanding for you to change. So you can either change or you can walk on this path alone. But it's better if you could start to do this change a little bit, because you have been going down in this tough vibration to help people, and now this is done. You need to level up. Okay. So thank you, my dear Aries, for all of you writing, liking, and watching, liking, and subscribing to my videos, and also for all of your beautiful comments. So it's making me feel hopeful for humanity, with all these people trying their best, striving, fighting to be in their best version of themselves. And it's hard when you don't know where to go and what's right and what's wrong. And sometimes you can have the best intention and things can go badly anyway, but it doesn't look like that for you. You have 2 5s. That's kind of like some kind of glitch that need to be changed. And that's why I'm talking about that you might need to do some change. And you have 2 of Swords and 3 of Swords that kind of not wanting to address your hurt. And you need to, okay? You can go away for a time, lick your wounds, but then you need to address this. You can't blindside yourself and not see the big nail in your own eye here with the karma thing and these 3 swords. Okay, so take really good care, and I hope to see you again in the middle of November. Bye bye, Aries.